Good morning, Meridian, and welcome to Business Buzz. Today, we're going to be visiting with Mike Round, District Manager with Insperity, HR that makes a difference. Hey, good morning, Mike. How are you doing?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing great.
Yeah, thanks for joining us here today. Mike, who is Insperity and what services do you provide to our business community?
Sure. So, Insperity here is working with small and mid-sized businesses in the Treasure Valley community. And really, what we're doing is we're helping with all things people. For some businesses, that can be the basics like, payroll and infrastructure, the paperwork and compliance that you need to do as an employer. And for other businesses, it's more strategic things like, how do you develop your folks? How do you do succession planning, plan for growth in your organization? Have a real, culture built around your business and your people. So it can vary based on group to group's needs.
So, Mike, what are the advantages do you offer the small business owner that really only has just a few employees? How can you benefit them the most?
Well, small or not, every employer has to deal with, if you have at least one employee, managing the compliance side of your organization. And it's something that you can't sleep on. And it's nothing any small business owner really gets into business to deal with. So getting that stuff off of their plate so they can focus on running their organization, doing things that are really important to them, like revenue generating items, instead of dealing with the minutia of people is always a benefit. Plus, they get to sleep easy at night knowing that everything handled the right way.
Yeah. So, what type of advantages does working with Insperity offer when it comes to providing benefits such as retirement plans or health insurance? Because I know those are things that really attract people and keep people.
Yeah, it's a necessary for a lot of businesses, and it's also usually one of their second or at least their third largest line item for their business. So it's something you got to pay attention to. And as a small employer, small mid-sized employer, there's limits to the things that your business may be eligible for. Maybe there's organizations that have multi-state employees, and they need to be able to manage, benefits and offerings to folks outside of their local area. But even if it is just a local offering of, competitive pay, benefits, and programs like a 401k, it's a lot to manage for a small business owner. Keeping things like cost in check, managing the different plans and how they maybe change year over year, being responsible for the 401k, those are all things that can be passed over to Insperity to manage. Not only help your organization out with the buying power and the economies of scale that your business can have, so saving you money, but also keeping things consistent and a large offering that maybe not be eligible for a lot of small employers that are out there. So there's a lot of perks that can come from it. And again, it kind of goes back to what's the philosophy and strategy for that business owner around benefits and what we can do.
Okay. Mike, can Insperity supply the infrastructure to support my unique business needs, or does every business get the exact same services from you?
So every business is going to need some basic infrastructure. They're going to need things like their policies, their procedures, their handbooks. They're going to need to have, employee paperwork in place, payroll processes, all the basics that go along. So that's something that we can do for any organization to get that stuff up and running in place. And really where the customization comes in working with Insperity is meeting the business where you are today. What you need at a 5 or 10 person group isn't what you need at a 50 or 100 person group. So figuring out what, both from a tactical standpoint, does your business need help with, but also on the strategic side, what can we step in there and we can really build plans to meet a business where they are.
Mike, you work with a lot of businesses across the country. What are business owners you work with asking for help the most right now?
I would say that, it changes a little bit based on the time of the year, but given our current economy, I think a lot of businesses are concerned about how they get the most out of their people right now. They may not, they may be running pretty lean, keeping costs in control and looking out for, opportunities where they can. So how they get the most out of their people on a day-to-day basis is big. But as we get later into the year, a lot of businesses are going to go back to thinking about what do initiatives look like next year? How do we deal with, maybe benefits and stuff like that that are coming up for renewal? All good things that we can work on with folks. But right now, it's definitely been about attaining or retaining talent, being able to keep those folks motivated. And if you're in a good spot and still growing, how do you find and keep good talent from the open market as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Retention is a high priority for a lot of businesses. Mike, what sets Insperity apart from other HR companies here in Idaho?
I think a lot of our competitors in this space really focus on the technology, the automation side of things, and that is important. Being able that you don't have to manage paper processes and a lot of manual processes, that's important. But when it comes down to it, HR is about people, and we want to really have a good connection with our clients. So the level of service, the level of care that you're going to get from our folks that step in to help you on not just helping you throughout your HR stuff, but really understanding your business, your goals. No business can achieve the goals that they set for themselves without good people backing them. So we really want to get in there and understand what you're looking to accomplish and how we can help. And that's a really people centric focus that we have.
Well, people is as your number one resource as well. How is Insperity and your advisors involved in the community here?
So a big part of us opening up to the Treasure Valley market back at the end of 2021 is just getting out and doing a lot of education. A lot of business owners in the Idaho community can know that there's different ways to go about managing people and operations, but also just getting involved in the community in general. We all want to get out and work with our nonprofits that are supporting our community, working with, our great chambers of commerce throughout the Treasure Valley market has been fantastic for us. And really just kind of getting out there to educate, build some brand recognition around Insperity. And if we could provide value to a client, even if or a prospective client, even if they don't become a client, if we can provide some value and help out our business community, it's a win for us in the long term. So,
Okay. Mike, what's the best way for someone to get in touch with Insperity or your team members here in the Valley?
well, I think best thing is all we want to start with is a general conversation. If you need help with HR or people operations, you want to have a general consult. Give us a ring. We'd love to have a conversation. I'd say the best person to reach out to is Michelle Barsness. She is our senior business performance advisor here in the Treasure Valley area. She has a couple other folks that she works with as well. You can reach her at 208-207-9427. Email her at michelle.barsness@insperity.com right there on your screen. And it would be great for us to be able to connect and see how we can help.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for sharing a little bit more today about Insperity, and thank you for being a part of the Meridian Chamber of Commerce.
It was great to be here. It's my pleasure. Thanks and have a great day.
Well, thank you. Thanks for everyone for joining us today. After Hours next week, June 15th, this month is hosted by the new Top Golf. If you haven't been there yet, this is your chance. Come by and join us for After Hours on June 15th. Also coming up this month, we've got Dairy Days. Begins Thursday, June 21st. Bring your families down to the 94th Annual Meridian Dairy Days. The parade is Saturday night. The festival runs through June 24th. Until then, have a great week, Meridian.